Musicland was a chain of retail music media stores that opened in 1956 and closed in 2006. Thank you for your suggestions.
Musicland, we got what's hot for the holidays.
We've got a hot holiday cassette sale now at Musicland. For $2.99, save on classical, stage and screen, rock, and more. Just $2.99 each. For $3.99, pick up your favorites from RCA. And save on select titles from A&M and Arista. Just $4.99 now at Musicland.
Musicland.
Hot for the holidays.
Musicland began humbly enough in 1956 with a single outlet near downtown Minneapolis. One of the founders, Terry Evanson, had opened his first music store in his hometown of Cloquet, Minnesota. Following a college education he helped fund by leading a dance band, he then resettled in Minneapolis and launched the Musicland business with partner Grover Sayer II, a former member of his band. The partnership had grown to a chain of 6 stores by 1963, and at which time Evanson and Sayer decided to sell their interest. From 1963 until 1968, Musicland was the property of 2 St. Louis Park, Minnesota brothers, Amos and Dan Helliker. Veterans of the record distribution since the 1930s, the Hellikers had supplied Evanson with pre-recorded music since his early days in Cloquet. Amos and Danny started the Soma record label, which is basically Amos spelled backwards, and recorded mostly polkas, country western, and jazz music. They would merge Musicland with J.L. Marsh in 1964. Musicland expanded rapidly to 48 stores under their management before the private concern merged with Pickwick International, a music and book production, distribution, and merchandising corporation based in New York with 300 retail outlets. The Helliker brothers remained in the Twin Cities to head Musicland's distribution and retailing divisions. In 1976, Amos, known as Mr. A, had a falling out with the Pickwick board and sold his stake in the company. At the time, Pickwick was the largest record distributor in the United States and the UK, and had 280 retail record shops. The year after the break, packaging giant American Can purchased Pickwick for $102 million. At this juncture, Musicland appeared to be a clear leader in the record retailing with approximately 230 stores. In 1978, American Can also purchased the Sam Goody chain of record stores. Unfortunately for American Can, the purchase of Pickwick was a classic case of bad timing. The recorded music business lurched into a long slide after 1978, while American Can, with little knowledge of the retailing in its top executive ranks, poured money into acquisitions of smaller record store chains and opening of new stores. Some of the slide was due to the flash-in-the-pan music phenomenon known as disco. The greatest factor, though, was likely the changing demographics of record buyers. Baby boomers were no longer primarily teenagers and the largest record-buying group by age, but part of an older crowd fast approaching middle age. The company was losing money, and between 1979 to 1983, management closed more than 100 poorly located or unprofitable outlets and centralizing distribution to just 2, rather than the previous 18 warehouses. In addition, management sought savings by taking the tiniest and least obvious of measures, including switching off backroom store lights and shaving the number of paper bag sizes offered to the customer. In 1985, because of the new inventory management system and other managerial improvements, Musicland was back in the black. The transition had become complex and costly, though. From 1981 to 1984, virtually all of the company's non-retail operations, wholesale distribution and record production were curtailed, even while American Can continued to buy up and merge smaller record chains into Musicland. In May of 1986, plans to acquire California-based record bar Licorice Pizza, a 60-store joint enterprise, for $13 million was announced. When completed, the deal brought Musicland's total tally of stores to 512. Also in 1986, the first Suncoast Motion Picture Company store was opened as Paramount Pictures. The name change would come in 1988. This store concept specialized in movies and movie memorabilia, also located in shopping malls. In November of 1992, Musicland reaffirmed its market-driving reputation by opening its first Media Play store in suburban strip center in Rockford, Illinois. Media Play was a chain of retail superstores that sold movies on video, laserdisc, music, electronics, video games, books, toys, and games. Each store essentially contained a bookstore, a movie store, a music store, and a video game store under one roof. At their height, they operated 72 stores in 19 states with 2,000 employees. In 1995, the Musicland stores began to be converted to Sam Goody outlets. Among the rationales for this move was the ability to promote and manage one store identity rather than two, as well as the feeling that Musicland name was limited in that it implied that only music was sold there. The conversion was completed by 1997. For most of 1996 and 1997, Musicland teetered on the verge of bankruptcy, a fate that befell a number of other music retailers during this period. The company closed more than 100 stores, including 9 Media Play outlets, and scaled back its expansion plans. Needing a strong 1997 Christmas selling season to cement its recovery, Musicland delivered in part by placing emphasis on the new DVD format, selling $1 million worth of DVDs during the week of December 14th. Sales of DVDs for all of 1997 was $50 million, also helping with the resurgence in sales of music videos, fueled primarily by the popular group Hanson. By the year 2000, the lack of investor enthusiasm was based on the uncertain future of the music industry. Musicland's online sales was affected in light of the rampant downloading of music over the internet that had been made popular by Napster and other online music services. Nevertheless, Musicland was itself preparing its websites to deliver downloaded music if the demand arose and if it became feasible to do so at a profit. In early December of 2000, Musicland agreed to be acquired by crosstown rival Best Buy Company for $425 million in cash and the assumption of the company's debt. Best Buy planned to retool some of the Musicland store formats and was particularly interested in gaining a presence within shopping malls by revamping the Sam Goody format. By then, Musicland numbered around 1,300 stores. Their intention was to transform Sam Goody into a destination for young people looking for hip electronics. They launched a major merchandising campaign and converted Musicland's on-cue concept of rural stores to the Sam Goody brand, reducing its position in books and moving more into video games and DVDs. As part of the 2002 settlement with 41 states over CD price fixing, Musicland, along with retailers Tower Records and Transworld Entertainment, agreed to pay a $3 million fine. It estimated that between 1995 and 2000, customers were overcharged by nearly $500 million. Best Buy failed to generate the results they were looking for with Musicland, losing $85 million in 2002. Best Buy admitted mall-based retail was a different business concept from their Best Buy stores, and that they had failed at properly running the Musicland group. Best Buy put the company up for sale and was likely just weeks away from liquidating the entire chain when they found a buyer in Sun Capital Partners, who acquired the company in cash-free transaction in exchange for acquiring Musicland's debt and leases. Sun Capital attempted to get the company back to basics, but ultimately the dual pressure of internet downloading and the big box competition proved too much. In December of 2005, Sun Capital announced the closure of all remaining MediaPlay stores. In January of 2006, the Sun Capital-owned Musicland Group filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy, and in February announced the closure of 226 Sam Goodies and 115 Suncoast Motion Picture Company stores, as well as all of the MediaPlay locations. In March of 2006, Transworld Entertainment announced the purchase of Musicland's remaining 400 Sam Goody and Suncoast stores from Sun Capital, along with their websites. Transworld kept 345 of these stores open and closed 55. Transworld began converting the remaining Sam Goody mall stores to FYE, their signature retail brand, but chose to keep the Suncoast Motion Picture Company name on about 170 stores. Incredibly, even though it was once expected that all Sam Goody stores would be converted to FYE stores, there are actually 2 stores remaining that are still open. One in the Ohio Valley Mall, and then the other in the Rogue Valley Mall. So what do you remember about this place? Leave a comment or a suggestion for a future video below. And if you haven't already, hit that like button and don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Thanks for watching.